Football fans throw missiles in pre-match violence. So for anybody that was in the town centre on Glasgow on Sunday, god damn, god damn, that was a hell of a time. That was a hell of a time, man. Violence and disorder broke out. I'll tell you what I saw towards the end. Violence and disorder broke out in Glasgow City Centre ahead of the Scottish League Cup final between Celtic and Rangers at Hampden Park. And I could hear all the sirens, I could hear all the commotion. I saw police officers everywhere. I saw streets shut down, and I actually tweeted out going, "What the hell is going on in Glasgow? What's all the commotion?" And then it was Old Firm Day. For those not in the know, Celtic versus Rangers, which means two ethnic groups in Scotland, the Catholics and the Protestants, like to meet up and exchange nice words and hug each other. And, no, they fight. Yeah, Old Firm Day is a dangerous time to be in the Glasgow City Centre. But anyway, footage on social media shows large groups of fans charging down Argyle Street ahead of kick-off, setting off flares near fearful shoppers. Police officers can be seen using batons on running fans, some of whom were wearing Santa hats and face coverings. The force said missiles had been thrown and windows smashed. It said officers had been authorised to use stop and search powers, including removing items being used to conceal identity. The powers remained in place until 9 o'clock in areas including the city centre and parts of the south side, east end, and into South Lanarkshire. Shoppers feared for safety. Many trains had been cancelled ahead of the 3:30 kick-off. Why was there a 3:30 kick-off? I have no idea why. With ScotRail warning of a driver shortage. Large groups of fans could be seen walking through the city centre from about 1 o'clock, escorted by police. However, violence soon erupted, with one group charging down Argyle Street towards the Tron Gate. Shoppers trying to leave can be seen screaming and running back indoors to avoid the rush. One football fan falls to the group. I think it's meant to be the ground. While others run around him shortly before a flare is set off near a shop doorway. And that is actually, if you look at my tweet, where I'm like, "What the hell's going on in the town centre?" I replied to it with that specific video that it's talking about. A shopper told BBC News they were forced to take refuge in a nearby shop for their own safety. An officer can then be seen using his baton on a number of fans passing by. Police Scotland said officers had been authorised to use stop and search powers under Section 60 of the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994. This allows officers to stop people when appropriate and necessary, either in vehicles or on foot. Chief Superintendent Steve Dolan said officers have had to act swiftly and robustly to ensure public safety and reduce disorder. The use of weapons or violence will not be tolerated, and officers will take action where necessary to ensure safety. It impacts other members of the public and the vast majority of football supporters who want to enjoy the Cup final event safely. Officers will remain in the city as our operation continues, and anyone with any concerns can approach them. Now, when this happened, I was actually going to my church's market. Right, they had a little Christmas market that they were doing, and I was going to pop down and say hi. And I was actually walking past the car park at the St. Enoch Centre, and I saw them all walking past. They were all dressed like Antifa, right? They're not Antifa, they're not. But they were all masked up, all completely clad in black, and all of them had Santa hats on, and there was hundreds of them. Like, all walking just in a big, like, not single file, but like in a big line group going, and it just went on and on. I like stood and stopped and just like watched them like go past, and it was never ending. I was waiting for them to finish walking past so that I could continue on, and there was just hundreds of them, like literally hundreds of these guys. One of them spotted me and knew who I was. I think he wasn't allowed to break rank or something like that, but he pointed at me and he went, "Look," gave me a thumbs up, and I just gave him a thumbs up back. Now, from what I understand, correct me on this if I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but what I was told is these are Rangers fans, so these are like Protestants, and their group is called the Bears, and they're basically a militant football hooligan wing of Rangers, right? I might be completely wrong on that, so don't quote me on that, right? But apparently that's who it was, and they came into the town centre for a little bit of a tussle, and that's why for pretty much my entire walk all the way to the church market, it was sirens, like deafening sirens everywhere. And then when I got to my church, they were like, "What is going on?" And I was like, "I don't fucking know, right?" But I just had an army of like black clad men in Santa hats walking past me, so it's probably that. But yeah, so yeah, I know it's Old Firm Day. I mean, it's fun, but I, But for anyone that's visiting Scotland, avoid the city centre on Old Firm Day.